We'll assess whether we're on the right track. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Conservatives weren't warned that the original wage subsidy could potentially be used by corporate profiteers to pay out dividends to their shareholders. The government dismissed our concerns, and what happened? 68 of those companies did exactly what we originally warned. Meanwhile, the government goes after tiny micro businesses who thought they were eligible for the CERB based on their gross income. Now the government says, no, we meant net. Why is it the government is picking the pockets of the little guy in order to pad the pockets of the fat cat?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to speak for a moment about the wage subsidy. This subsidy, which was supported unanimously by all members of this House, has supported more than 3.9 million Canadian jobs. And let me be clear, the wage subsidy can only be claimed for employee remuneration. It cannot be used for any other purposes. This is a support measure which is keeping Canadians on the job, keeping Canadians at work, and I'm pleased all members of this House supported it.
Member for Carleton.
Well, all the money goes into the same account. So what the business actually uses it for is impossible to say. 68 companies took money they would have used for wages, and instead of paying workers more, keeping them on, they laid them off and effectively used the tax dollars Canadians provided them to pay it out to wealthy shareholders, just as we warned would happen. Other countries brought in controls to protect taxpayers from this kind of abuse. Why didn't this government do the same?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, let me again remind all members of this House that the wage subsidy is supporting more than 3.9 million Canadians to keep their jobs. That is essential. The wage subsidy does include an accountability requirement in the legislation. An officer in the company must attest to the accuracy of the company's claims when claiming this subsidy. Now, I know that Canadian business people are honest and responsible, and that the vast majority of them play by the rules. But let me be clear in this House today. We mean it. The rules are there, and they will be enforced.
For Carleton.
Well, she claims to believe businesses are honest, but this is the same government that was calling small businesses tax cheats not so long ago. And when recently the minister said she wanted to, quote, unlock the savings of Canadians, including small businesses, for a preloaded stimulus, it brought back an awful lot of memories of when the government attempted to impose a 73% tax on the savings of small business people. This is the same party that has threatened to tax the capital gains on primary residence. Will this minister, yes or no, rule out taxes on capital gains of principal residences, reintroducing the previous small business taxes, or any other tax increase?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I think we have all seen that the Conservatives have in recent days been descending into some dark and indeed dystopian conspiracy theories. And I think I understand why. The problem is the Conservatives themselves can't figure out what they stand for. Do they believe in science, or do they believe in anti-vaxxers? Do they believe in supporting Canadians and Canadian business, or do they believe in austerity? Do they believe in free trade, or do they believe in protectionism? Mr. Speaker, what the Conservatives need to do is figure out what they stand for and let us know once they've...
The Honourable Member for Winnipeg